So what we're doing is a mashup of styles. It's something I've been doing a lot in the winter. One thing I've been doing a lot is making India Black Lager is something that I've been doing. I've also been doing the India Pale Lagers for a few years. I know other breweries are doing that too, but I'm changing it up this year. I thought I would do a twist on the White IPA phenomenon and do a White IPL. So what I'm not doing is using a Belgian yeast. I'm just using Yeast 2124 Bohemian Lager, but I am using a White IPA quote-unquote grain bill. I'm also going to do a little bit of coriander, a little bit of orange peel. So here is the recipe, which is nice and blurry. 8.5 pounds Pils malt, 2.5 pounds white wheat, 1.5 pounds unmalted wheat. You know, I did not find unmalted wheat flakes unless all wheat flakes are unmalted. Half a pound of oat flakes, and I'm going to use a little bit of rice hulls. Here's the all of the grain all ready to go. Here's the water. So I'll check in at some point with kind of how the wort's looking, I suppose, maybe when I'm collecting it. Of course, at the end, we'll do a tasting and see how it came out. I forgot to talk about the hops. The hops are based on a recipe I did last year. That was what I call the Double India Pale Lager that just came out great. I couldn't have been happier with it. And I was using a hop shot. I've done that a number of times. That's in one of my videos. I used the hop shot, and I also did a hop stand with a number of hops. So I'm doing the exact same hop bill on this beer this time around. So the bittering is going to be this hop shot. That's going to go in. I'm going to boil for 60 minutes. At 30 minutes, I'm going to throw in this. At the end of the boil, I don't know what order it goes in, but 2 of these go in and sit for like 15 minutes, and then after the 15 minutes I put in the other 2, and then they sit for another 15 minutes. So these 4 are the hop stand for a half hour, and that is how that goes, and it gets a really nice hop character. That is the first runnings. So yeah, it looks kind of like a white IPA, so see how it goes. It is cold out here today. -5 Fahrenheit. Alright, well, I'm inside, kind of. This is this hop shot. I don't know if you've ever used these. I love these things. I got the thing swirling here. I'm just gonna squeeze it on in. Oh man, it's frozen. I might have to two-hand this. But this thing works just great for a set amount of bitterness. Oh, I can smell it already. It has a certain kind of flavor too. I've used it about 4 times. I'm gonna have to two-hand this thing, but I really like these things. If you've never used it, I recommend giving it a try on your like a really big IPA or a big hoppy beer. The recipe I'm following for the grain bill and for some of these other additions, not the hops, but the other stuff, is kind of after Deschutes Chainbreaker White IPA, and it called for 1/3 of an ounce of bitter orange peel, which I forgot to buy. So instead, I just zested up 1 orange. I know that the fresh orange is not the same as a bitter orange peel, but it was such a small amount of bitter orange peel, hopefully it'll get a tiny bit of orange character. Also, there's 3.5 grams of crushed coriander, and that will be going in a second. There we go. Those go in at 5 minutes remaining in the boil, which I'm coming up on, and then I'll start the hop stand. Pretty much all done. Everything went well. First time I'm trying one of these plastic big mouth bubblers. I got one for Christmas and I've been wanting to try it. I got it cooled down to 56, and I got 5 gallons, and this is the color. As you can see, it's you know, pretty much about what you would want. I got about 1070, 5 gallons. Gonna aerate, pitch the yeast, let it ferment, see how it comes out. Catch you on the flip side. Okay, it is time to taste the White IPL. Here is special guest Paul Fowler. You'll hear more about him in a second, but let's go for it. It's not very well lit in this room right now, but alright, hold that up for the people to see. Look at that. There she be. We'll have a special guest.
Yeah, special guest, Kitty.
Special guest, Fritzy the cat. So this is my friend Paul. He has taken the step into the world of YouTube. I will try to actually make a hyperlink to his channel in this video, but otherwise I'll put the text of what his channel is. He's already got one on making a summer sausage. So grinding the meat, stuffing it in the casing, smoking it, all that stuff. He also has a sizer, which is a mead with apple juice. So I'd recommend taking a look, see what you think, subscribe if you want. But today we're drinking beer. So we got the White IPL. We've been talking off camera for a little while. My thought on this is I like it. It works for me. It's fairly bitter, but it's certainly not overwhelmingly bitter. I get the coriander. We were talking, the orange zest that I did isn't really coming through very strongly. If I wanted more of an orange presence, I would either zest more oranges or maybe just use some bitter orange peel. It's not like a wit beer level. One thing we were talking about too is I make this India Pale Lager, and I did the exact same hop schedule for this beer as I did for an India Pale Lager that he tried, and he pointed out that beer had quite a hop aroma and flavor, and it's the same hop schedule in roughly the same gravity. If anything, this gravity probably was a little bit lower, slightly lower, but you do not get this overwhelming hop character in this beer.
Yeah.
And we were wondering why that would be, and this beer has coriander and a little orange peel. Does that somehow cut that down? Does it minimize it?
That's our hypothesis anyway. It's a very good beer. If you didn't tell me it was a lager, I wouldn't know it. I would think it's an IPA.
Do you think a lager would... You say that, but what do you mean by that? How do you think a lager would taste that it's not tasting like that to you?
The only other IPL I've had besides that little taste of last year's one you made was Sam Adams one, and that was very much an IPA, but it had a different character to it. It didn't have any esters. It was just this clean finish, but yet it had a nice hoppy presence to it and aroma. But it was all together, like a totally different kind of IPA. At that time, I preferred just a regular ale-yeast IPA, and I just stayed.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that as a compliment that it doesn't have a weird lager character to it,
right,
that you got in that beer.
Right. No, none of them were bad.
Yeah.
Just a different character to it.
I was also talking off camera that when I do these experiments, I am curious to find out if I feel like it works or doesn't work. Would I do this again? And I feel like this does work. It is getting clearer already, so it isn't white in the sense of a wit beer or even Deschutes Chainbreaker White IPA, where it's a little kind of hazy and has a white character. Excuse me. But it's an interesting flavor. It's an enjoyable flavor. It's kind of falls under my low risk experimenting motto. Think of something you want to try. You're going to get a beer that is usually going to be pretty good to great, but it's something that's different. So, I don't know, what do you think? Does this work?
Oh yeah, I think it works. Good job.
Cheers.
Guys. Cheers.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. If you ever make this beer, come back and comment and let me know. Or if you have a similar type of thing you've done, let me know. And catch you next time.